Tony mentioned that he had some problems. He had some problems with the SSH connection, and actually, SSH connection does not handle very well the interruptions. So if it is interrupted even for a moment, then it is stuck. It is frozen, and it cannot recover itself. It cannot reconnect automatically. And besides this, the connection seems frozen for some time until it is time. Maybe it has some timeout and it expires, and then we get to the prompt. So we have to open another shell and then make another SSH connection in case it is stopped. This happens, for example, when electricity goes down for a short time, or when the internet is interrupted for a short time, then it is frozen. And that's why we also use Tmax on the VPS, because with Tmax we have the session working on the VPS even if the connection is interrupted, and when we reconnect, then we can join the same session. But there is a tool which is better than SSH, and it is Mosh.
Yes, but the voice, perhaps you are too near to the mic or something. No, it's clearly to understood, but it's a bit anyway. Andreas, wie hörst du?
I hear everything okay on my side.
Okay.
Tony, maybe there is some issue with your network connection, Tony.
Yes. I think so.
And
I'm sorry.
I think the recording will be clear. If you miss something, maybe you will have to watch again the recording. I hope it will be clear.
Yes. That's very useful. Va bene. So I just have my coffee.
Okay. And so Mosh stands for mobile shell. What does it mean, mobile? Mobile means that if we have an SSH connection, we can move to another location, to another network. For example, from home to work, or from work to home. So change the network. The normal SSH tool does not work in this case, but Mosh can reconnect again. And it works also when the network connection is interrupted. It reconnects automatically. And actually it is not very difficult to install it. So we can install it and we can use it. Actually, it is not a summer project, it is just a 5-minute thing. So there is a package called Mosh, and I have already installed it. It is here. And in order to connect to my VPS, instead of using SSH VPS1 as usual, I can use Mosh VPS1. And it is going to use the SSH configuration for connecting to this server. The IP of the server, the port, and the username, it can find them from the SSH configuration. And now it is asking, have you installed Mosh on your server? Actually, no, I have not installed it yet, but I can install it now. So let me install Mosh. And let me try again. Nothing received from server on UDP port. And to quit, control and this, and then dot. Let me quit. No. Okay. Actually, we have a firewall. Please verify that UDP port is not firewalled and can reach the server. It is trying to use this UDP port, which is closed actually. By default, Mosh uses a UDP port between 60,000 and 61,000. So let's try to open these ports on the firewall on the server. SSH VPS1. Firewall CMD. List all. And we have only these ports open. Let's open these other ports. Firewall CMD. Add port, and I have to specify the zone. Zone public. Add port 60,000 to 61,000. /UDP. Success. Let me list it. Yes, it is added here, but I'm going to add it to the permanent configuration of firewall D. So the same command, but with the option permanent, is adding this rule or this setting to the permanent configurations of firewall D, firewall CMD. And also reload. When I use reload, I'm loading the permanent set of rules, of permanent set of configurations. And let me check the list again. Yes, it is open. And now I can try Mosh. And it is very similar to SSH. I just get a connection to the server, but this is a more robust connection. So if if the connection is interrupted shortly for some time, after the internet connection starts working again, this will reconnect automatically, and we will not experience the freeze or the blocking. And also, if I sleep, I put the computer to sleep or to hibernate or something, and then I go to some other place, and then I wake up the computer. This connection will still work. It will reconnect automatically. And now let me start Tmax as well on the VPS, on the server. And now let's continue where we left last time. We were working for installing WordPress. And we built this compose.yml file. And after building it and testing that the WordPress was installed and working, we were trying to make some optimization. So here at environments, we moved the environments to the file .env, but it didn't work. And it didn't work because because of some misconception that I have about how this .env file works. And I figured it out, and now we can correct it and explain what is going on. So we have this. We built this .env file. But now we are going to move back these settings. So I copied them. And let me put them here. And we also have to use these curly braces here. Save. And let me remove these lines and move this one to the compose.yaml too. Control Shift copy. And these are required, these curly braces, they are not optional. Save. And remove this. Now we have this .env file which contains these variables, db name, db user, db password. And then in this compose.yaml we are using these variables like this to define the values of these other variables. This is called interpolation. Interpolation means that it is replacing these variables. If we use this dollar and curly braces, then it is replacing this with the value of the variable in the file .env. And what is the benefit of doing this? The benefit is that we define the variable db name only once, and then in the .env file, and then we use it here and here again. So it is the same variable. It should have the same value, because this is defining the name of the database inside the MariaDB container, and this is defining the database connection and to which database it should connect. It should connect to the database with this name, so it should be the same. It should have the same value here. And doing it this way, we make sure that they are the same. And also, we can modify them easily later. If we have to modify, we just have to modify it in one place. And this section environment, so that .env file is telling Docker Compose how to interpolate these variables inside the compose.yaml configuration file. But we have also this section environment here and here as well. this section is defining the environment variables inside the container. So when this container is started, inside it there will be available these variables: MariaDB database, MariaDB user, and so on. So these are the variables that are defined inside the container. And the variables in the file .env are actually the variables that are used to fill this template, this configuration file. So to fill the values in this, to interpolate the values. Actually, the file .env, I don't like this name because it is a hidden file. So if I just look at the content of the directory, I may miss it. So why they did not use something like compose.env, which is more obvious and easier? I don't know. It is a bad design choice, but a bad design choice of Docker Compose. But we can rename this file .env. For example, if I rename it move.env, but in this case, I have to use Docker Compose. So when I say Docker Compose upd, I have to tell Docker Compose what is the .env file. So I'm telling Docker Compose. In this case, I'm telling Docker Compose that the .env file, the interpolation file, is this one, compose.env. If I don't use this option, env file, then the default one will be .env. So Docker Compose is going to look for a file named .env. If it finds it, then it is going to use its content. So this is not convenient either. So let me rename it back to just .env. And we did not test yet that the modification that we did works. So let's start the containers again and check that the website is running. So let me refresh this website. And now it is working correctly. Now, if we see the name of the container, for example, it is starting these two containers, WordPress WP5.1 and WordPress DB1. The name of the container is composed from the name of the project and the name of the service and another digit to make it unique. And the name of the project by default is the name of the directory. So it takes the name of the directory as name of the project. But we can specify the name of the project on the file compose.yaml. Let's say that the name of the project is WP. And let me comment out this. So that we can properly shut down the containers, and then uncomment it. And start them again. And we see that now it is using this as the name of the project, this WP. And it is also building a network connection for these two containers. And the name of this network connection is name of the project underscore default. This one. Now we can change the name of the network. We can set it into the configuration file compose.yaml. So let me define networks here. Networks for this Docker Compose project. And this is the default network. And for the default network, I'm telling it the name of this network is WPNet, for example. And I'm not defining a network for this service, and if I don't define a network, then it is taking the default network. So it is connecting this this Docker container to the default network. And also for this service, I am not specifying to which networks it should be connected, so it is connected to the default network. And the default network is going to have this name. But maybe I should comment it out first and shut down the project, which is going to remove the network as well. Docker Compose down. So it is removing the network as well. And now let me uncomment them and start the project again. And now the name of the network is this one. So it is this one here. And the names of the containers are composed the way that we told, name of the project and name of the service. But I can specify a name for the container as well in the file compose.yaml. So somewhere here I can say container name actually. And I'm using this one as the name of the container for this service. but again, let me comment out it until I shut down the existing containers, because if I try to shut down the project in this state, with this configuration, it will try to shut down this container, which does not exist yet, and it will try to shut down this container, which does not exist. So let me shut down the existing project first, and then uncomment and start it up again. So it is removing this container and this one. And now it is using this container names. When we build the WordPress container, we are using this image, which is the official image downloaded from Docker Hub. And it is actually the latest image, because I'm not specifying a tag here. So the default tag is latest, WordPress latest. But I can also use a custom image that I can build locally in my local machine. And I'm going to do this now because I want to customize the content of this container, because this container does not include the WordPress CLI, the command line of WordPress. And in order to use it, the WordPress CLI, I have to download another container that includes this tool. But I can modify this container to include WordPress CLI, and this is what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to build a Docker file, and actually because it is a long Docker file, let me copy it from here. So it starts with this line, which is actually not a comment. It looks like a comment, but it is not a comment. It is required, because if I remove this line, then this part will not be valid. So it is specifying the syntax, which is Dockerfile 1.4 and so on. And then I'm starting from WordPress, from the official image as a base image. So I'm using this as a base image, and then I'm going to add some other things on top of this image. And I'm running these commands here between this and this. Update, upgrade, install these tools, less and MariaDB client. These are dependencies for WordPress CLI. So it needs these two commands, MariaDB client and less. So I'm installing dependencies of this WordPress CLI. And then this command is downloading this file, WordPress CLI.far, and it is saving it output to this location, /user/local/bin/wp, and this is for silent, I guess, so that it does not produce a lot of output. And then make it executable, and we are done. We have the WordPress command line interface inside this image. Now, how do I use this Docker file? First of all, let me shut down the project. Because I will modify this compose.yaml. And the modification that I will do here at the at this service, I will add this build instruction. And then this is the context directory. The context directory is the directory that contains Docker file, the Docker file. And actually the Docker file is in the current directory. So I'm telling basically that when you build the image, use the Docker file that is in this directory, in the current directory. This is the name of the image, but let's modify the name of the image because this is WordPress latest, which is the official image. So let me call it WordPress local. So this is another name because it has a different tag. And it shows that it is the locally modified version of the WordPress image. And save. And try to start the project. And you see that it is including a build step because it is building the Docker image locally from the Docker file that we specified. So this is the run command that builds the image. So building is finished, and the name is WordPress local, the name of the image. And then the other steps, the usual steps. Create a network, start the container, start the other container, and so on. And let's see that the site is still working. Let's check it. Yes, it is still working. But why did we do this? Why did we make this customization, this modification? Because now we can run Docker compose exec as user www data, run into the service WordPress 5 the command wp. So I'm running the command wp inside this service, and I'm executing it as user www data. This is how it should be executed inside the container. And we get the output from the WordPress CLI, and we can use this tool. For example, user list is going to give us a list of existing users, and there is only one user right now. But this command is very long and inconvenient to type all the time. So what can we do? What we do usually, we create an alias. So alias WordPress 5 CLI, and I made the copy paste here of this command. List of aliases, and here is the last alias that we define. And of course, to make this alias permanent, we can append it to .bash rc. append this one as well. And now let's try WordPress 5 CLI user list, and it is working. So this is much more convenient than using the long command. Now let's try to install another WordPress site. So we installed WordPress 5.user1.fs.al. Let's try to install a website named WordPress 6, another WordPress website, again with Docker Compose. So we want to install a WordPress site with this domain. Now what can we do is that we can create another directory like this one, and then we can create another compose.yaml file inside this directory. And in this compose.yaml file there is the definition of database, a MariaDB service, and a WordPress service. So it will start another database and another WordPress container. This is the easy way, but we will try another way which is more difficult, but it is more challenging, but we can learn more from it. So we will try to use the same compose.yaml file for the second website, and we are going to use the same database container, but we will define another section, another service for the other website. And before doing this, let's modify this current service a little bit, so that instead of sharing the directory www with the container, we want to share the directory WordPress 5. So we want to rename this directory to WP5, WordPress 5. So let's stop the service first. Let's stop the project. And then rename this directory. And then modify the compose.yaml file. Save, and then start up the project again. And check that it is still working. Okay, it is working. And what else do we need to change? We have this .env file here, and it is defining the name of the database, the name of the database user, and the database password. But for the first website, we need to define similar variables for the second website. So we need another database. Let's call the name of the variable db name1. Oops. db name1. and db pass1. Because we need to create another database and another database user for the other website. And to create this database and user, we can... Yes.
One thing, you wrote another time user and not password in the last file.
Yes, you are right. Actually, it doesn't matter. It can be anything. So this value can be, for example, anything. But we are using this just for convenience. Yes, it is better to keep it like this so that we don't get confused somewhere. But actually, the name of the database name can be anything. It doesn't have to be WordPress 6 DB. It can be whatever. For example, what are we using this website for this thing? Then it can be the name of that thing. But it can also be this one. It is fine. And the name of the user can be this one. The password can be anything at all. It should not be like this. So if we install a website for production, then it is better to use a real password. Actually, this is an internal password. So this password is not available for accessing the database from outside. This password is available so that one container, the WordPress container, can access the database, its own database, on the MariaDB container. So this is an internal password between one container and another. It is not available for outside users. So even if it is a simple password, it doesn't matter. It is not a serious issue. But of course, it can be another value, a complex password, for example. Why not? So it can be. But the point is that the name of the password or the value of the password here does not matter. And now we want to create this database and this database user. So we can run some commands to create them, but we can also use this script, which is easier. So I've created this script in order to create a database for the second website and a database user. And of course, we are going to look inside it to see what it is doing. So it is including this file .env source. Source means include. And then it is defining this MariaDB command like this: execute MariaDB command inside the container of the service DB. So it is docker compose exec into the container of this service. And the command that will be executed is MariaDB. And we are using this variable here. So through the pipe, we are sending some commands to be executed to the prompt of MariaDB or the client, MariaDB client. And the commands, we are sending them with cat. And these are the commands that are sent. Create database. And this db name1 is coming from the .env file. And also db pass1 is coming from this one. And also db user again is coming from this file. So we are creating a database, creating a user, and then granting privileges to this user on this database. So let's do it. Let's run this script and create them. And now let's check whether this command worked and see the list of databases. I'm sending this command through the pipe to docker compose exec into the service DB. So the command MariaDB is being executed inside this container, and I am sending this command to MariaDB. I'm not sure why this is not working, but let's run this command. We get MariaDB shell, show databases, there is something wrong because we don't see WordPress 6 DB here. So let me check the script again, or actually we can try to debug this one. Again, it is failing with this error message. So these commands are not being executed. The input device is not TTY. Maybe I can try this option, no TTY. Let me check it. Yeah, with this option it works. So let's modify the script and add this option and run the script again. So I'm going to add this option to docker compose exec and run the script again. And now check the list of databases again, and we see that the second database has been created. So it is okay, it is good. And now we are going to modify this compose file. And we are going to add another service similar to this one. So let me copy it, Control Shift and C, and paste it here, Control Shift and V. And then modify it. Container name WordPress 6. I'm going to change this port because this port is already being used by the other container. And then it is connecting to the same database. So this DB is the name of the service above, the database service above, but it is using another database name. which and I'm using this variable which comes from the file .env. And again, the name of the directory that is going to be mounted to this var www.html this should be another directory. So let's save and stop the project first, down, and start it again. So it is starting another container, WordPress 6, and here we see another directory. Which contains the files of the WordPress application inside the container. And we see that another Docker container is running again. We see that this is running too. But in order to access this other WordPress site, we also need a reverse proxy configuration. So I'm creating another window. There is a mistake here. Let's fix this mistake. There is this missing quotation, single quote mark. Save. So the reverse proxy is at nginx. And let me copy this one and then modify it. And I can change the name of the domain here and here. Also here, the name of the domain. And the name of the certificate file, it is going to use another certificate, its own certificate file. Log files. And also the port here, it is going to use another port. Because this is the port that is being used by the container. So we are forwarding the request, or we are making a proxy pass to this port, which is the port that is published by the container. This is telling the syntax is okay, but we forgot to enable this this site. So when we test the configuration of Nginx, it is detecting that this file is missing. We are using this file in the configuration, but there is no such file. So let's get a certificate for this domain. The domains for which we are getting the certificate there are two domains separated by comma, and the email address of the domain owner agree to the terms of service. Here we have the certificate. Now the syntax is okay, and we can reload the configuration of Nginx. And now that we did this, we can open the domain in browser. It is WordPress 6. And we finish the installation with the wizard. And it is working. Now we also have to see how to maintain these websites that we installed with Docker Compose. So there are some maintenance steps here for backup, restore, update, etc. But let's continue tomorrow with this part.